Hello, Sariaz here with another Starmade video, this time on power tanks and shields. So start off with power tanks. What they do is they increase your power load or power capacity. This is the amount of power that you can have stored at one time. By default, every ship can store up to a maximum of 20,000 power, and then as you add more of these power tanks, that will increase. So you can see right now I'm up to 20,114. And so, as you can tell, I only gained 114 power from all these. So they're not going to be super useful on small fighters because you just won't have the space to get the effect out of them. And since their only main use is on bigger ships that are going to be using a lot more power all at once, whether it's through cloaking or pulsators, or just because they've got so much power being drained by their thrusters and their shields and all that. Small to medium ships probably won't need to increase their capacity. For putting them on the ship, they're most efficient when they're together. Try and for every single set of tanks that you're going to do, try and put all your tanks in either one place, or if it's going to be like in two separate rooms, try like putting something like in the ceilings, that way they're all connected, because you gain a lot more power capacity if they're all connected as opposed to separate. And yep, that's them. That's power tanks. No, I don't want to delete my core. And then shields, doesn't matter where they are, whether they're connected or not. The amount of blocks, shield blocks on your ship is what it's based off of. It doesn't matter whether or not they're connected, just how many you've got. So your number of shield blocks is going to affect your recovery, your shield regen, and your shield points, I guess is what I'd call them. So, if you put on some shield blocks, notice my power draining, that's because they use power to regenerate your shields. And if you look down at the HP bar on the bottom down here, you'll see this little blue bar at the top going up. This would be your shields. When it's full, you're at max shields. When it's lower, you're not. Makes sense. So your shield points is like the total amount of damage you can take before your shields, or when your shield points run out, your shields go down for 10 seconds to recharge and you're vulnerable to be shot at. When they're up, the shields take the damage instead of your actual blocks. So obviously increasing this will make it take longer to take down your shields. The other thing that adding more blocks does is increase your shield per second regen. This is how much shield points you're going to regen every second that you're not being hit, which is where recovery comes in. Now this is also affected by the number of blocks, shield blocks that you've got, but in a negative way. The more shield blocks you've got, the higher your recovery period time is. And this recovery period time is the time after every shot. So if you get shot, it then waits the recovery period before you start actually regenerating. So in small fighters, you've got a recovery of like 0.5. So after you get shot, you have to wait 0.5 seconds before your shields start regenerating and adding up to your shield points. On bigger ships, you can go up to a maximum of a 4-second wait, which obviously is a long time. And the other really important thing about this with bigger ships is that if you get hit again during this recovery period time, the clock starts over. So if you've got a really, really big, like, carrier, and you've got a 4-second recovery period, they only have to hit you once every 4 seconds to keep your shields from regenerating. So this obviously makes bigger ships a lot easier to kill now, because their shields, you can theoretically quite easily with anti-mag cannons prevent their shields from ever regenerating, and you've just got to deal out enough damage, which can still be a problem for a small fighter ship if they've got a big giant million capacity of shields, but it definitely makes it a lot easier. And yeah, that's shields. Oh wait, if I quickly do this, pull up my notes, and we look over here, this part that I've highlighted, for the first 1, through 256 shield blocks on your ship. And you can look at that in the stats on the left-hand side of your screen. Well, in build mode, it'll tell you the number of blocks you've got. The first through 256 block, you'll have a 0.5 regen. 257 to 1024 blocks, you'll have a 1 second recovery period. 1025 to 4096, you'll have a 2 second recovery period. 4097 to 16,384 blocks, you'll have a 3.0 recovery period. And the maximum recovery period of 4.0 is at 16,385 or above. And yeah, that's shields and power tanks. Goodbye.